Hey there Star Wars fans, and welcome back to Astromech Productions, the Star Wars and LEGO Star Wars YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be creating my very own fan fiction on what would have happened if Grand Moff Tarkin hadn't blown up Alderaan in Star Wars A New Hope. This will be fully fictional and completely of my own imagination, so don't take any of this for any sort of canon. If you guys enjoy this type of video, please tell me in the comments so I can make more of these. I'll only be doing part 1 today, so make sure you subscribe to see the rest. And with that, let's get straight into it. Part 1. On the Death Star. Princess Leia opened her eyes. She had been in the cell for what felt like months now, but it had probably only been days. She sat up and immediately felt the piercing pains left on her from the interrogator droid. Suddenly, the princess felt a rush of memories of her torturing. She tried to repel them, but they forced their way into her mind. Hours of screaming, pain and desperation. Above her, she heard the hiss of hydraulics, and she looked up in fear of seeing another interrogator droid. However, it was only a pair of Death Star troopers. But what she was not expecting was the dark, looming profile of Darth Vader, the feared Sith Lord and right-hand man to the Emperor. There was something about Vader she had not been expecting when she first met him, a feeling that had only grown in the past days. She had thought he would be cold, distant, have no feelings or sense of personality, nothing human. But she had felt something. She could not describe what. Almost a sense of connection between them. It puzzled her. But the Dark Lord's appearance now meant something was up. The Death Star troopers roughly grabbed her and pulled her to her feet. "Where are you taking me?" she demanded of Vader. But he only stared back at her through those endless black eyes in his mask. He made a movement with his hand and walked out of the cell. Leia was led down countless corridors, each one the same as the last. They walked non-stop through crowds of stormtroopers and Imperial officers up to the highest ranks, pausing only to wait for lifts. She was terrified. She would not deny that to herself, but she made an effort to outwardly project an aura of confidence and bravery. She entered what looked like a control room, and she saw him, standing by the window. "Governor Tarkin," she said, striding up to him. "I should have expected to find you holding Vader's leash. I recognised your foul stench when I was brought on board." Tarkin chuckled. "Charming to the last. You don't know how hard I found it signing the order to terminate your life." Her stomach plummeted. She'd been expecting this, but that didn't make it any easier. "I'm surprised you had the courage to take the responsibility yourself," Leia shot back. "Princess Leia, before your execution, I would like you to be my guest at a ceremony that will make this battle station operational. No star system will dare oppose the Emperor now. The more you tighten your grip, Tarkin, the more star systems will slip through your fingers." "Not after we demonstrate the power of this station," cried Tarkin boldly and confidently. "In a way, you have determined the choice of the planets that will be destroyed first. Since you are reluctant to provide us with the location of the rebel base, I have chosen to test this station's destructive power on your home planet of Alderaan." Leia whipped around, and with a feeling like her chest was being crushed, saw the blue and green surface of Alderaan through the window. "No, Alderaan is peaceful. We have no weapons. You can't possibly. You would prefer another target, a military target, then name the system," Tarkin demanded, cold fury in every syllable. "I grow tired of asking this, so it'll be the last time. Where is the rebel base?" Leia knew what she must do. "Dantooine," she spoke softly, with as much reluctance as she could muster. "Set a course!" cried Tarkin, joy etched upon his face. But, turning back to Leia, he whispered, "If you have lied to me, I will ensure that not just Alderaan pays, and you will watch every second of destruction." Part 2. The arrival on Alderaan. "Stand by, Chewie, here we go. Cutting the sublight engines," came the call from the cockpit, and Luke looked up in time to catch the stretched blue stars they left hyperspace. Luke glanced at Ben, and together they rose up and walked towards the cockpit, and saw the blue and green surfaces of Alderaan through the window. "Well, there it is, Alderaan," said Han, suddenly brusque and businesslike. He angled the Millennium Falcon down and towards the surface of the planet. Out of the corner of his eyes, Luke thought he could see what looked like a huge grey moon moving quickly out of sight, but he shook himself, assuming it was just some meteorological object flying past. Suddenly, the radio crackled. Korean YT-1300F Light Freighter 492727ZED. Please state your business on Alderaan, came the voice from the other end. Yeah, hi, I'm here providing transport to two guys, Luke Skywalker and Ben Kenobi, responded Han. Did you say Ben Kenobi? The voice came back, sharp, precise, and shocked. Han almost nervously replied, Yeah, that's it, Ben Kenobi. After a short pause, the operator came back. Could you give me a minute, please? The static filled the line. We're not in trouble, we've done... What's happened? What did you do? Demanded Luke. Nothing, I didn't do anything. It's something about your friend, cried Han, pointing at Ben, who was sitting there pensively. The operator's voice came back on the line. You're clear for landing dock 12. Send your coordinates now. Han punched the received coordinate in. I know! That's a landing dock on the Royal Palace of Alderaan. He must be important. The Falcon sped down towards the surface, and soon the gleaming towers of the palace came into view. They landed on pad 12, and exited the ship, with a hiss of the boarding ramp. We're an escort, said Han, as, sure enough, a group of Alderaanian royal guards came walking towards them. What does this mean? Luke exclaimed to Ben. I don't know, but it's not good news. What? But Ben suddenly went quiet, as, through the group of guards, came a familiar face. Both men had aged since last they saw each other, but each recognized the other nonetheless. Bail, whispered Ben, fear in his voice at what this meant. Obi-Wan, the figure of Bail Organa responded, terror etched over his face. He has her. Vader has Leia. The face of Obi-Wan Kenobi, drained of colour. Part 3. Dantooine. The Death Star came out of hyperspace. The profile of Dantooine came into view, small and vulnerable, it suddenly seemed to Leia. When the rebel base had been here, it seemed like the most wonderful, safe planet in the galaxy, but now she felt she had betrayed it, condemned it. She couldn't look directly at it. Your help has been most appreciated, Princess, but I like to be sure. I am sending 2,000 probe droids down to the planet's surface to scout for signs of the rebel base. And, if you are wrong, Dantooine will pay the price for your failure. Sickened, Leia couldn't even respond, and she was pulled away by troopers. The walk back to her cell passed in a daze. She didn't notice the identical hallways, the troopers running around as though preparing for battle, the officers jeering her. She sat in her cell, not seeing, not hearing, not thinking, not feeling, just going over in her mind what she had done 1,000 times. She sat there for hours, knowing that even if by some miracle she survived this, she would never be able to look at anyone in the same way, knowing that she had caused millions of deaths of millions of innocent people. Fathers, mothers, children, all gone. After hours she was dragged up again and brought before Tarkin. In future years she would not even remember the conversation of this exchange, such was her dread. With cold fury Tarkin stared down at her. You lied to me, Princess. There is no rebel base currently in use on Dantooine. Leia didn't even bother protesting. She knew it was pointless. You will pay the price of this, Princess, and this will only be the beginning. I will tear through every star system in the galaxy until I find your rebel base. I will torture and kill anyone who stands in my way. I will destroy the planet of anybody who has lied to me, all because of you. And you will watch it all, snarled Tarkin, deadly seriousness echoing through his words. Long live the Empire! He cried, and this ghostly cry was repeated on every side, chilling Leia to her very core. Initiate firing sequence! He commanded, and the entire battle station began to hum and whir with energy. Leia tried to look away, but could not tear her eyes off the scene. Fire! Shouted Tarkin, and a green bolt erupted from the station, and Dantooine exploded into 1,000,000 pieces. So guys, that's as far as we're going today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please drop a like if you did. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that post notification bell to be alerted about part 2. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you next time on Astromech Productions.